Hello everyone. It's been a while since my last video, but we've been working pretty hard on our own website, and we'd really like for you to check us out. Our address is bobocus.com. What I'm going to show here is some of the things that we use at bobocus.com in our Trade Kings group, and it's the relationship between two different Fibonacci tools. The basic principle of this is to take each day's amount of movement and measure it, which becomes our intraday Fibonacci tool, and measure anything that moves counter to that as the counter swing. The reasoning behind using two different tools this way is one will show you support levels, the other one is going to show you resistance levels. And it's just a little easier to just demonstrate it. So what we have is starting on this Monday here, is the overall movement from the high point to the low point. Now from this low point, we had this much retracement into that day. But before we put this other tool on here, let's look at how these levels project out into the next day. And what we see is as this day begins, we see resistance levels actually holding price here. Alright, we attempted a break on the low which failed. The market begins to trade higher, and we get a hit on our target range, right at the 138 and 161 extensions. Now the way this swing works, counter to the intraday, is we just simply measure the amount of movement that we get counter to our intraday movement. This is the retracement that occurred after the high and low had been established. So if you follow these blue levels out here, you can see these are the points that price was actually honoring as it went short and made an attempt on the low. Once it began to trade higher, when we look at the swing, we look at the target range of the swing, and it gives us the potential that price can go if its levels are broken or even honored. And the action we got here was most likely the market was attempting to stay short, but there happened to be a news event here that causes a spike in price. When this happens, we use our Fibonacci tools and both agree at the same point of where price can travel, which in this case it actually did. If we move this same principle into the next day, we simply look at the high and low, and we find our first retracement into the intraday. We look at our levels out into the next day. We have a pretty rangy day. Alright, we come and put our swing into this and measure this amount of retracement that we had from this intraday movement. We see that the levels actually do offer pretty much resistance here, and as the levels are broken or they're honored here, we see price can travel around this much. If we move this same principle into the next day, we set our intraday basically in the high and low point of the day. Then we use the amount of retracement that we got. And what we see is, as an attempt on this previous high was made, price begins to retrace. Early in the trading, we see it fail. Price comes down all the way to both of our target ranges. And once those are met, we get retracement, or most likely, this was most likely a U.S. news event, the same thing. The price reverses and goes right back to the target range from the intraday. So they pretty much give us a pretty good idea of how much price can travel in one day's time based on the amount of movement that it has moved before. If we just simply continue this out and look at the amount of movement we got during this Thursday, bring our swing in, measure the amount of movement that we had counter to price. Once price bounced from the intraday levels where they actually shown support, we see price come up, but now the swings levels acted as resistance, and then price retraces back down again. And if we look at our levels from our swing, our target range, pretty much where price went. Now if we were to look at the movement from Friday to project out into the next Sunday, Monday, we come up with this. Now what it looks like is if price bounces from this area and comes back long, we know that price has the potential to go this far. If it does in fact break the high and the movement is strong enough, we know that it has the potential to go this far. If you'd like to learn more of this and how it works, as well as time-based Fibonacci, position trading, scalping, please by all means visit us at bobocus.com. I'm sure once you visit us and see what we have to offer, you'll agree that we do, in fact, stand out from everyone else. And as a member of our Trade Kings Club, you'll have access to our weekly market updates where we give our projections of currency pairs going into the next week, and we do this before they happen. You'll have access to our own private community forum. We also offer regularly scheduled webinars to help people understand the methods and strategies that we use. So please, by all means, visit us at bobocus.com. Thank you.